If you contact a customer within 60 seconds, you can actually increase your conversion rate by 391%. So in this video, I'm going to show you a really powerful AI agent, voice agent, that will take information from your website or a lead magnet form or whatever you want to. And then what we're going to do is give them a call within 30 seconds. And we're going to qualify them. We're going to see if they should be A or B. And based on that conversation, it's going to go ahead and either book a meeting with them or point them to different resources, basically meaning that you can spend more of your time growing your business without the need for any human beings. And even if you've never spelled the word voice agent, if you follow this video along, by the end of it, you can be able to build these things and implement them in your own business or potentially sell them to somebody else. And I've built this thing on Meg.com with 2 modules to make it as simple as humanly possible. By the way, my name is Jack. I run a 7-figure AI automation business, and I've helped thousands of businesses now grow and scale using AI in many different ways. And with that in mind, guys, if you haven't already, grab that coffee and let's dive straight in. Now, to get us started, I kind of wanted to show you briefly how this works. So I've got a website here, really cool. What we're going to do is we're going to capture information from the customer. Say, for example, we get a bit of an email here, random information, and I'll give it this phone number here as a quick for instance. And then we'll say, hey, our budget for this is £11,000. Now, this is what happens, right? So we have this scenario here. I'm going to unlink this for a moment to show you. Basically, we have a form that exists and just captures our lead contact information, right? So we hit submit on this, and basically what will happen is we'll get all the data automatically from that. As you can see down here, it's got all of the beautiful data, which is flipping awesome. Then what that will do is go ahead and trigger this. So look, if I run this module only real quick, you'll see right now in a moment, I'll get a call coming through my phone, and there you go. Look at this. We're going to open it up. We'll see what it is.
And I'm calling from Blue Light Automation. I see you just filled out an inquiry form on our website a moment ago regarding our AI automation services. Thank you so much for that.
Bam. And then it goes straight into an entire conversation. And once that conversation is finished, basically what happens is it'll send all the information to this webhook, and they will add it into a Google Sheet where you can see the name, the appointment, the summary. I said vibes. We can pretty much specify any information that we want to, and then the whole thing is completely done for you on autopilot. Now, what he will also do is book appointments, and he'll check your calendar, and we can link up cal.com to do that. So it's very, very, very impressive. You can do test examples here, for instance. Like if I come down here and just show you briefly, this might be even easier for you to hear.
Hi, is this Jack? My name is Alex, and I'm calling from Blue Light Automations. I see you just filled out an inquiry form on our website a moment ago regarding our AI automation services. Thank you so much for that. I also noted the potential budget you mentioned was around £11,000. I just wanted to follow up quickly while it's fresh in your mind. Is now a good time for a brief chat about what you're looking for?
Yeah, that sounds perfect, man. Thank you.
Great, thanks for taking the call, Jack. To make sure I point you in the right direction, could you tell me a bit more about what specifically caught your interest in AI automation for your business?
Yeah, I want to scale up my veterinary practice to £50,000-60,000 a month. I'd quite like to have a call and just see if I can just figure this all out if possible.
That's great to hear, Jack. Given your interest in scaling your veterinary practice and the potential scope you've indicated, the best next step is usually a complimentary 15-minute discovery call with our specialist, Jack. He can dive into your specific needs, answer your questions in detail, and discuss potential AI solutions for your business. Would you like to go ahead and book that call?
You know what? I think I would, actually.
Fantastic. I can check Jack's calendar for you. Do you have a preference for a particular day or time this week or next for that 15-minute call?
Ooh, yeah. How about the 12th of May, maybe 3 p.m., something like that?
Let me quickly check Jack's availability for May 12th, around 3 p.m. for you. Jack is available on May 12th from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Would you like to book the call for 3 p.m. on that day?
Yes, let's do that.
Perfect. To book that in, I'll just confirm a few details. Your first name is Jack, is that correct?
Yes.
And is your best email address still jack@aautomationswithjack.com?
That's correct. And then guys, once that phone call is finished, you can come down here and see when the appointment was booked, the first name, detailed call summary, and also vibes like friendly professional and how much it costs. So with that in mind, let's actually go through and build this one together. Just some really quick value for you as well. If you haven't already, what I recommend, I'm going to pull this up just so you can have a very quick look at it, right? Voice AI agents, a lot of that actually, guys, comes down to the prompting. So if I take a look at this, I want to show you a couple of things. I'm going to put some of this down below for you as well. If I come down to our voice agent prompting guide, This one's really interesting, and also the ABCs of Voice AI. I'll put both these links down below so you can grab it. But basically, this is like, if you had to give a TLDR of all voice, I'd encourage you to have a good look through this. I'll mention lots of stuff in the call, but this is good. I spoke to thousands of automators, like, what is your absolute best advice for Voice AI? And I just put it on this guide for you to grab. And especially, we've got lots of stuff that we'll see on the voice agents, how you actually prompt them, prompting context, stuff like that. And I'll explain that when we go into actually building it out. So if we're going to build this then, let's actually start by creating a brand new agent in retail. And what I propose that we do is we build this agent to scratch, we make sure it's okay, it's working, and then we'll start to integrate it with booking calendar appointments, and then we'll also integrate it with different scenarios. So to do this, we're going to come down and click on create an agent. And for this one, I think single prompt agent is fine. So the use case I have envisaged here is basically somebody does a contact form on our website, and then we're going to have somebody call them and say, hey, thank you so much, we're on it, they're getting called in 30 seconds, makes you look amazing. And we just confirm one or two other things. We can further qualify them, because remember, it's always a trade-off with like the amount of data you get and actually like whether they fall out or not. I mean, I had a business with about 10,000 people coming through my form every month. Small details matter. So I come down to single prompt agent. Obviously, there's lots of things that we can do. What we're going to do is just start from blank. And I'd rather, if your first voice agent, I would rather you start off basically, with something simple and build it out. And I'll also cover some of the limitations of the system in this video as we go through. So make sure you stick around to cover all that stuff. All right, cool. So let's start off first of all. We're going to pick the brains. So we've got GPT 4.1. I'm just going to go with GPT 4.0. What is really cool about retail AI, and you'll see other options like Vappy, is it's very clear on the costs of everything. And remember, you're always trading off on a couple of things: speed, performance, and cost, right? So you've got these different dynamics based on where you want to be, and you think about that in respect to your offer. So we're going to go for GPT-4, which is going to charge us 5 cents a minute. Beautiful. And the next thing we can do then is pick a voice. Now, what's really cool is you can actually connect this with 11 Labs. All these voices here. So I chose Adrian, but you can check them out. For example,
greetings. I'm Amritanshu.
So you can go for that one if you'd like to.
AI curator.
Let's go.
To enrich your experience with insightful assistance and tailored
Wow.
advice. Do you want some burgers?
This guy does not want to stop talking, does he? That's hilarious. So you can add custom voices. You can bring in your voice clone from 11 Labs, upload that, and get it all beautiful and ready to rock and roll. I am going to go with, let's just go with someone random like Amy, maybe.
Good day. Good day.
Okay, maybe not Amy.
Greetings, I'm Billy, your AI customer.
Hey, I'm Brian, ready to get going. Whatever
Okay,
you need.
we're going to go
consider it done
with
promptly.
Brian.
What
Okay,
are we
cool.
working on right now?
Beautiful. Thank you, Brian. We appreciate that. You come down to connect some sections if you want to. Temperature, think about temperature as like variability. Like the higher the temperature, the more kind of varied the response you'll get to. If it's very, think of it as like deterministic, you would want lower temperature. Structured output, that'd be cool. High priority, yes. Okay, cool. So we'd rather consistent latency, high cost, but I think it's worth it in this instance. Beautiful. Now, what's really cool is we can add in, well, let's first of all add the prompt, and I'll show you how you do these dynamic variables and what that looks like. So as a quick and beautiful, for instance, and we come back over here and show you my example voice prompt for the guy that we're going to pick. So here we have blue light automations. Now, you see, guys, what's really cool is that the agent, when it calls your customer, will know any information that we want to give it, right? Because crucially, what's happening is, if I can pull this website, which I have subsequently absolutely just lost, haven't I? Where is it right now? Okay, I've pulled it up here. Okay, we ask any questions you want to, any variables you want to know. Their financial position, how much money they can afford, their name, their phone number, their email, anything. I'd always recommend that you bring over the phone number and the email, because then the agent doesn't need to clarify that on the conversation, and some things are more difficult to hear. So any information you want the agent to know, capture before, really important, okay? Now, basically, we come back over here. What we're going to do, if I come to our beautiful example here, is you can specify these dynamic variables with these two curly brackets, and then the variable you want, and then two curly brackets, right? And we define what that is. So we're saying to the agent, hey, look, this is the information you're going to get about the customer. We give it an identity. So it's, hey, this is your name, this is your goal, and this is what I want you to do. So for the purposes of this, I've said, look, if they have a budget that is $10,000 or greater, you're going to do this. If it's less than 10K, you're going to do this. So we've given it a really clear purpose, and its job is to dig deeper and find it. So now we have the agent closing down and vetting our people. So maybe you run an MMA gym. Maybe you're thinking, look, can they actually afford 90 quid a month? If not, completely cool. This is what we recommend you do instead, okay? We go to things like style guardrails, clear and professional, embrace variety, engaging, productivity, blah, blah, blah. Response guidelines, key behaviors, the things we wanted to do for eligible callers, resource guided callers, handling dissatisfaction, task workflow. And this is really cool, actually. So we can kind of like break down the system of the conversation and kind of give it some guardrails of how we'd expect that to go. So first one is intro. Right? Then we're going to qualify and pass determination. Like, okay, we've welcomed them in. We said, welcome to the JR universe. Now let's find out where they are on the budget scale and what they need to do. And then again, we can say if they hesitate, do this. If they don't, do this. Which path we want to go down there. Step 3 is check availability if on a high budget pathway. Answer any basic questions, address further questions, concluding remarks, quick reference, blah, blah, blah. And what you can do, by the way, guys, with this full guide that I've got for you, you can actually just give this to an AI. I mean, one of the things I built for my community is a GPT, so they can just like, it'll ask you questions and build it for you. It's really cool. But also you can just use this and say, great, build me a system off the back of that, which is really cool. And you'll end up with a really beautiful thing like this, okay? Really detailed and really structured. So what we're going to do is we've got the function calls as well, which is really cool, and we'll build those out as well. So we're going to come down here, we're going to copy it all, and then we're going to go over to our beautiful and wonderful thing. And by the way, guys, the first one you build can just be anything you want to, right? Okay, cool. So let's get down to functions. So functions are basically, think about it as like things it can do. So one of the things it can do is end the call, right? Ending the call. Like if you don't give it the ability to put the phone down, it's just going to sit there and be like, yep, okay, like, and now I'm waiting. But next thing we want it to be able to do, which is going to be interesting here, is check calendar availability, right? That's really important. So, hey, when you use ask for availability, check the calendar and provide available slots. Cool. So now we need to sync up our calendars. So for that, we're going to go over to cal.com, which is really, really cool. And which is this guy here. Let's go over to the app and we log in like so, and you basically connect it. And if you come down, I believe it's to bookings, you can connect your calendars together, which is very, very, very cool. And you can add your Gmail, you can add Outlook. When you set up this account, it'll just say, hey, do you want to connect this account, that account? Really, really straightforward. And then what you're going to do is create the kind of meeting that you want. I'm going to say like a 15-minute meeting. So I click on this guy, for example. And then what you'll find in the actual search bar, guys, if I just copy and paste it down here, is a number. I want you to come down and copy that number, okay? And then come back over to retail. And here we've got cal.com API key, event, enter event type ID. You're going to pop that in there. And then time zone, let's just come off this. I think we can just blank that out for a moment, just for the simplicity's sake of a demo. And then API key, you come back over to Cal. On the left-hand side, you are going to come down, I believe it is to settings, and then API keys. Cool. And then I'm just going to add a new API key, for example, call this one random. I'm going to put this one down for 7 days. Click on save. I'll delete it after the call, obviously. And then we copy this guy. Not that I don't trust people, but it's best practice. We just don't want to keep loosey-goosey API keys. All right, we copy the API key. We come down here and then we enter it. And then we are ready to rock and roll, which is decent. So we click on save. Cool. So that has given it the ability to check calendar availability. So let's add a new one. This one is going to be to book a calendar. And once again, we do the same thing. We're going to enter the API key. And then we're going to want to get the event type ID one more time to come back over to our beautiful calendar real quick, which is this one. And then we're going to capture this number from the browser. Cool. And then we'll come back over here, enter the ID, perfect. And then we'll just get rid of time zone real quick and hit save. Cool. So we've given it 3 things. It can end the call, it can check our calendar appointments, and it can also book the appointments, which is really, really cool. All right, decent. Now, just to test that it can do that effectively, let's actually do that, right? Cool. So first of all, let's just add some dynamic variables by clicking on this guy here. Enter variable name. So first one we've got is first name. So we'll come down here. Whoops. Beautiful. All right, cool. So variable name is going to be test value. We'll just say, hey, it's Jack. Variable name. Then this one can be something like, I don't know, email. And then we'll have Jack at AI Automations. Actually, you know what? Let's just go for a different email. It's Jack at outlook.com. Beautiful. And we'll add a further one. This one is going to be budget. And we'll say, hey, my budget is around £11,000. Cool. And then finally, let's just do phone number. Actually, let's do number. Because we want to be able to call, maybe we want to call them ourselves, right? And I'll just put a random number in here. So that'll be 0. Okay, sweet, really decent, right? Now, what we can also do is give it a knowledge base. Just bear in mind, as you add a knowledge base, that will increase the latency. So you can actually see at all times the latency. So this is in milliseconds, obviously. So it's around 1 second. 97% of a second to 230% of a second. Cool. And then the cost is going to be 20 cents a minute, which actually is really not that bad. So if you kind of magnified that over like, we do some quick maths real quick. Yeah, so I've just done some quick math. That's about $10 a minute, $10 an hour for having a conversation, which I don't think is that bad at all, really. I think that's really, really cool. So let's bring out knowledge base. So you've got a website, right? What we can do, add knowledge base, add new knowledge base, give this a second. And what we can do is give it the URL for your business, right? Enter knowledge base name. This could be, hey, my website, beautiful documents to add. You could add web pages, call and sync your website. I could click on this guy and then we enter a URL. So if I just gave it something random, like, I don't know, let me just give it something really simple and stupid. Like if I come over to, in fact, I'm going to give it a coffee. Like, just come down here, grind.co.uk. HTTPS. Oh my gosh, cannot forget the S, right? Click save. This is cool, and it's going to select through the sitemap. It's actually really cool how it does this. It kind of solves a lot of the scraping thing. You can obviously upload documents. Just think about when you're building these voice agents, if it's necessary or required to do that. And often cases, it doesn't really need access to your entire website unless it's like, I don't know, like interviewing for you or something crazy like that. Okay, beautiful. So it's found all this stuff and you can kind of select the bits you want or take all 1,254 pages. We're not interested in that, but if you wanted to, you could just grab that. Alternatively, of course, you can just upload files or add text or whatever you like to, and that'll give it a really cool knowledge base that you can then rock and roll with, which I think is really cool, right? So let's come back over then to our agent, which has come along very, very nicely. Of course, let's call him, and we'll call this guy BTG, which is Build Together GF with a lot of Fs, and I think we should give him a little bit of a fire emoji for good measure. All right, this is cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, there you go. He's okay. He's doing a good time. Cool. And then we've got speech settings down there. So background noise, I would recommend that you do have something. I've had a lot of people recommend different things on here. Do we want to call from the mountains or call center? I think probably coffee shop is a better feel and vibe to it. And then you can play around and have a good amount of time for this. We'll optimize for accuracy as opposed to speed. So like denoising mode, filter out unwanted background noise of speech, remove noise is fine. Cool, beautiful. And you got boosted keywords. So this could be things that you want it to say particularly, or improve its vocabulary by really double clicking into that sort of stuff. That's okay, beautiful. Now, if I take a look at call settings here, the key one I'd really want to double click into is max call duration. We don't really need this to be any longer than, maybe 10 minutes. Maybe it's very chatty, but if I just come up to 10, yeah, set this as you want. So bear in mind, you've got the cost and that sort of stuff. Then end calls on silence. Let's just not make that massively long. That doesn't need to be huge, right? I think if it's nothing after 15 seconds, we can probably hang up. Cool, beautiful. Ring duration, how long you want it to call, loads of stuff like that. Then we've got beautiful post-call analysis, which is really handy. And for that, come down to the add button and let's just add some stuff that we want. So this is kind of like everything you'd write. So if I just said call summary, a summary of the entire call, please. Cool, all right, sweet. What else do we want to know? I would say the other information we want is probably going to be something like the user's email. Go for text. Call booked. You can't do caps. Was a diary appointment made? And if so, when? Cool. And then we can give a good format example. I don't know. Let's just say 19th of December. And then in brackets, we could open up Cool. All right, sweet. Loads of stuff like that. And then I really want to add in vibes as well because just give me a general description of vibes of the call. Were they positive, negative, chill, happy with the AI, whatever. Cool. I want vibes in there because I think it'd be really decent to get a sense of, what are we walking into when we actually have a good conversation with this guy. All right, sweet. Really, really cool. It's coaching fallback settings. Again, you can, if you've got certain things from a sensitive data perspective, you can play around with different IDs there, which is cool. And then webhook settings. Cool. So what we want then, this is going to be an outbound agent, and this is going to be how we actually get it to make calls. So what I'm going to do here is you're going to come over, and I'm just going to delete these guys real quick. Let me get these guys out of here. And we're going to create a webhook, okay? In fact, let me come on this one, delete these guys. All right, get them out of here. Beautiful. Get those guys deleted. Cool. So come down to custom webhook, which is cool. We'll add a new hook. This one will be let's just say this one is like a cool data. Beautiful. And then just copy this guy right here. Beautiful. Come back over to retail and then come down and post it here. And this will basically be where he sends the kind of information, which is really cool. Beautiful. So I think we can save this. I think we don't want the user to initiate. Let's do AI begins with dynamic message. Cool. And then we click on save. Cool. Beautiful. I think we are ready to give this guy a test, right? So let's come down. And what is really cool about retail is like how you can actually test all this stuff here. I'm just going to disable my horsey for this website. Thank you very much. So now let's just test that this actually works for us here, okay? So let's come down and we'll say, hey there, my name is Jeff. I have a budget of $62,000. I would like to book an appointment with Jack at 3 p.m. on the 15th of May. Is he free then? Beautiful, bam, we send it off and let's just see what we get back with in the test. This is the really cool thing, guys, is that you can actually test and have those things. What's really cool is that you can come down, it'll tell you checks and tells you the tool results. So look, it says, hey, availability, blah, 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 availability range from 3 to 4 p.m. That's really cool. So I'll say my email is ben at outlook.com. Let's book the appointment. Cool. I'd always recommend troubleshooting with like the text conversations on the right-hand side before you go ahead and put it into production. It's just way quicker. Beautiful. And look at this, guys. It's gone to book the call, which is decent. And the tool result successful. Okay, cool. This is fantastic. So just like that, it's booked the appointment in. Obviously, I sped run that, but all we're trying to test is the fact that it actually can book appointments and check appointments. And guys, with that, I've got a 15-minute appointment. It's been successfully calendarized with Ben at outlook.com. Do you know who Ben at outlook.com is? I certainly don't. But we've got a call with him on Thursday at 4 p.m. I just realized this is my alternate inbox, actually, so it's quite handy that I'm not actually going to be giving out my legit email to these random individuals. So just like that, guys, we have successfully created. Now, I think this is really cool. So what we can also do is test audio to see what it sounds like. Do we like his vibe?
Hi, is this name? My name is Alex, and I'm calling from Blue Light Automations. I see you just filled out an inquiry form on our website a moment ago.
So I'm not a big fan of his voice. I'm just going to change that real quick. Let's go back to Adrian.
Hi, I'm Adrian, your friendly virtual helper, always here to make your daily tasks easier and stress-free.
All right.
What would you like assistance with today?
Okay, there we go. This guy really has got a lot to say, doesn't he? Okay, cool. So guys, what we've done successfully now is create a voice agent, which is really cool. What we now need to do is give it a phone number, right? Because that's done. So let's publish this guy. Actually, before we do that, let me just publish it. I'll call this one Jeffy Boy. Jeffy Boy. Okay, beautiful. And outbound phone number, okay? Now, don't worry, you wouldn't see this yet. Okay, I'm just going to unclick this for a moment and publish it, okay? Beautiful. Now, what we need to do, guys, is get a phone number. So phone numbers. Now, here are some of the limitations of retail, right? And that's that it basically works as US to US unless you go over to Twilio and you get a UK number. And if you want to do outbound calls with Twilio, you've basically got to create something on there, like upload an ID, ask some questions, they just verify it. Now, when you want to add a phone number to retail, one of the things that you need to do is verify that you are who you say you are. I wonder if that's because they don't want some person from, some crazy town just making loads of random calls and crushing it. So what we're going to do, you'll find you have like $10 free credits. Really freaking cool. So you come down, you're going to add a phone number and you can buy a new number. And it is as simple as picking the error code if you want to. Twilio or Telex, Twilio is fine. Click save. And then a number will appear for you right here. And then what you can do is just basically attach it to any of the voice agents that you want to. Now, I've already attached a number to this guy. So what I'm actually going to do, guys, is going to come down here. I'm going to be pretty savage here. I'm going to delete this guy. I'm getting him out, but he's gone. We have no more interest in him. He's out of here. He's finished. Okay, beautiful. So basically, and if you think about if you're selling this agent to different businesses, you just build up loads of different agents, all different things. The setup is remarkably simple. So we come to agents, and now what we're going to do is give them an outbound call for an outbound phone number. So let's come down here to publish and hit an outbound phone number. And then we should be able to describe and pick one, a free available one, which is there. And we'll call this one Jeffy Boy. Beautiful. And then click publish. And then we are done. We're fine. We come back over. Now he's got a phone number. So what I suggest we do is we actually then want to connect this to Make.com to our form and get him to give us a call and have a conversation. Okay, beautiful. So the way to test this is I built a website on card.co. It's very, very cool. It's like $49 for 20, 50 websites or something crazy for the year. It's wild, but basically you can pull this up and just build something to get started. And you can build these kind of integrated forms on paper form bafflingly easily. Like I've got some information here, very, very cool. And then you click on share and you go to embed, and then you just copy this code here, like Control C, and then you go over to your website of choice, and you can just embed the code, and then it will like appear. And obviously, like I haven't done a lot with the format, and I just kind of built this as a for instance, okay? Now, what we want to do then is connect the information that we get with the actual automation. So if I then come, remember we've got two scenarios, right? One is this is going to take the data, and the first one's actually going to trigger the call. So what we want to do is come down here to Paperform, or whatever the thing is that's triggering it for you, add a hook, come over here for a second, choose the form, and we want the AI voice agent form. We click OK, we click Save, and then if I run this one once as a quick for instance, and then I come over to our beautiful scenario here, come and hit phone number, and we'll just copy this guy for argument's sake. Decent. And then what's your budget for this? Hey, I have a budget of 11,000. We hit submit, we come back over to scenario, and just like that, guys, we've got all of our beautiful data. How cool is that? Super simple, right? But you think that's simple? Wait till you see this next step. I come down to plus and get to retail. So no need to faff around with like HTTP requests. We're just going to do something really, really, really freaking simple. And that is going to be the beautiful, wonderful, where is it right now? It's going to be make a call, create a phone call. That's it. That's literally all you do. You'll need to connect your API key. To do that, come over to retail. If you come down here to API keys here, you can actually just copy this. Bam, and then you just input it into your make scenario, and it's like he's ready to go. So we've got the from number. This is the number from which it's calling. So for that, we're going to come back over to our phone numbers real quick. This is always going to be the same thing. So just simply copy this, the one underneath it, come back over, put that there. And then the 2 number is the number we're going to call, right? It's going to be a number from the individual. So if I come over, let's have a quick look, and it's going to be this guy, okay? Actually, it will be the one below. It will be the value. And then you've got the override agent ID. To get that, guys, when you open up your agent, like here, click on BTG Jeff, you'll see loads of stuff in the browser extension. You can't see it, so I'll post it here. This is what it is. You copy all of it from agent, okay? Control X or whatever, that's it, okay? Dead simple. Come back over, that's your override agent ID. Now, crucially, we're gonna add some variables. So add variable. Now, the key is just going to be really simply the thing. So if I come down and I'm going to say, hey, key for email, and then the email is this. Beautiful. Add variable. And the key is going to be name, and the value will be Jack. Cool. And then add variable. Key is going to be, we'll just say like, what did we actually say for the variables? So I can check this actually. First name. Okay, actually better to use the exact same frame here. I'm going to hard code this, guys, but in reality, you don't need to, okay? So I put Jack, email, and just put Jack at outlook.com. And then finally, what is the third variable we had? Budget. Okay, cool. Cool. And then budget can be, hey, I have a budget of £11,000 a month for this. Cool. In reality, guys, you just select the thing here. I'm just doing it so we don't need to re-trigger the paper form every time. And then we click save. Now, what's really cool is I can actually run this now and he'll give me a call, which is really epic. But before we do that, let's set up the second part of the scenario here. And that's with the call data, right? So what I want to do is actually take this and then I want to import it into something. So we could do Airtable, we could do many things. Just for simplicity, we'll do a Google Sheets. Come to Google Sheets. We will do add a row. Pick a spreadsheet, just create a really simple one I've got here, which is this one, name, appointment, summary, vibes. Come back over here, choose the spreadsheet ID, and let's go for, what did we call this guy actually? We called it calls booked. Okay, cool. Nice. And by the way, speaking to people in my like accelerator and stuff, like these voice AIs are selling like hotcakes. I know several people actually now, several people that are absolutely crushing it with voice AI. And it's probably one of those things that's got high perceived complexity, quite easy to execute, so to speak. So now we've got name. Now we don't have the variables to pull over yet, so that's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to unlink this, and we are going to give this a quick test, and then we can roll the way through. So if I come over here, I right click, run this module only, and then we've got the value. I did need to add one more thing in, right, which is the 2 numbers. So let me just get the number that we're calling for the purpose of this demonstration, and it is this guy here. Beautiful. Come back over. All right, cool. Come back over and let's just give this guy a quick run test. Enter the value. Beautiful. Hit OK. And then he has given us a fantastic call. And we'll see, will my screen start kicking off? Beautiful, here we go. Let's have a chat with him.
I see you just filled out an inquiry form on our website a moment ago regarding our AI automation services. Thank you so much for that. I also noted the potential budget you mentioned was around £11,000 a month. I just wanted to follow up quickly while it's fresh in your mind. Is now a good time for a brief chat about what you're looking for?
Yeah, but I will just say my budget isn't 11,000. It's actually £29 a month.
Thanks for clarifying that, Jack. Understanding your budget helps us guide you effectively. For projects in that range, we often recommend starting with some foundational learning to explore the possibilities of AI automation and how it might fit into your goals. We have a fantastic YouTube channel packed with insights, case studies, and tips.
Thank you, Brad. All right, cool. So I basically told this guy if he doesn't have budget for 10K, send him to the YouTube channel. Now, what you can really do is really cool at the end of every call, guys, is come over to, if you go down to call history, you can see the full details, right? That was 49 seconds. It cost us 15 cents. The vibes are neutral with a focus on clarifying budget and finding helpful resources. Call books, no. Call summary. The user, Jack, clarified that his budget for AI automation services is £29 a month, not previously the 11K mentioned. Really freaking cool, right? And then actually what we've got here, this webhook, if I just test this one again. Okay, fix the errors real quick. All right, let me just save this. He should be okay, right? Okay, then run this guy once real quick. Maybe I can connect them. Hang on a second. Okay, I need to enter some dummy value. Okay, there you go. Cool, so I'll run this one real quick, waiting for the data. So to validate that, I'm gonna come back in and just have a very quick conversation with it real quick. Cool, guys, so to test our webhook, I've just had a fictitious conversation with it. I'm gonna click off send, that's okay. All good, thank you. Beautiful. Now he should end the call. There you go. Thanks, man. Blah, blah, blah. Decent. Let's check if we got the webhook. Okay, so let's just get the data. I'm going to hit run once on this. I'm going to come back over to our scenario. I'm going to hit here to run this module only. Which information is this? We need to give it real quick. Hang on a second. To number. Let's just give that and hard code that in real quick. Okay, I've hard coded it in. Let's just give this guy this number. Beautiful. Game's giving me a call. I'm just going to say nothing just so I can actually get the data come through. Let's have a look.
Blue Light Automation.
Hey there, dude. I just want to say that I'm not interested. My budget's £5 and I can't help you. So sorry, I'm not interested.
Thank you for letting me know, Jack. I completely understand.
Cool. Because we can this guy off. That's done. Let's see if we get the information back now. And we do. So you can see we've got all the beautiful data. Now you see this event, guys. There's actually multiple different events that can happen, but we only want this to trigger when we have call analyzed. So what I'd love you to do is come down to the filter, and the condition is when event is equaled. I think it's call underscore analyzed. Beautiful. So when that happens, it will only then send that information over, which is the only information that we realistically care about. Okay, decent. And then on Google Sheets, let's just map this information across. So we've got the name. Let's just get this beautiful stuff. In fact, if I run this module only, use existing data, you'll see that was call ended. And one more time, and we should see call analyzed. Cool, this is sweet. Then we come down to name, and let's have a look at what we've got. Dynamic variables. Look at this, guys. Jack, beautiful. Appointment. No, we didn't get the appointment right because we didn't have any other information. So if I come down, have a look at the detail. Okay, guys, so let me just run this one more time real quick. Let's just run this guy. That's absolutely fine. Cool, so I just re-triggered this. Let's have a look. The first one is call started. No, we're okay with that. Let's run this module only one more time. Use existing data. Call ended. No, we don't want that one. We want call analyzed. Let's run this one more time. Use existing data. Call analyzed. Beautiful. And now we have all the ACE information that we want, guys. So appointment. Let's have a look at all the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful data that we've got here. Hang on a second. Oh my goodness. Let's bring them over. All right, cool. This is more like it, right? Okay, cool. So appointment. Let's have a look and bring it over just so you can see. And because you got all this cool detail that we wanted, so let's have a quick look at what we got. We got the transcript, which is really cool as well, which I quite like, and that's so helpful. So if you come down here to call analysis, we've got the call summary, which is cool, and we got the appointment. So let's have a look. Call booked. If it's empty, we know that it's no. We've got the call summary. Bring this guy over here, and let's go down here. And then for summary, put the call summary, and then we've got vibes at the bottom. And then we could also, if you want to, guys, just add in any information. So this is the number they called, and then column F could be, for example, just the transcripts. It could be recording URL, so you could listen to it if you want to. Loads of cool stuff. So you can just double click and hear the conversation. So come out here, I'm gonna run this one more time. And then I'm going to get this guy to give me a call, and then we should see if this works properly, the full transcript. So let's give this a very quick call. As you can see, that's done. It'll start popping up Where is he? He'll be here in a second. There we go. Sweet.
Blue Light Automation. I see you just filled out an inquiry form.
Yes, bro.
on our website a moment
So my
ago.
budget is $500.
Thanks for sharing that, Jack. Based on your budget, a great starting point would be exploring foundational concepts.
I love that. And can I just say
possibilities of
how
AI
much? Can I just say how much I love what you guys do? Very much appreciate it. Okay, cool. So that's done. Now this has triggered because we've got call started. Obviously, guys, you would just have this running constantly, so you wouldn't need to do this. This would just run fine. One more time, and then it should go through to Google Sheets. That's uploading, and let's go check out the data. And look at this, guys. Look, so first of all, let me bring this one down. Okay, obviously we need to change this so we don't get all these crazy colors. Let's come down and let's just reset the formatting. And obviously, since we're not crazy savages, we are going to line in the middle, and we are also going to, whoops, where is it right now? Not merge. Oh my gosh, you can tell I've not used this Google Sheets in ages, right? Text wrapping. There we go, cool. The user Jack experienced enthusiasm for automation. The vibe's enthusiastic. This is a number. This was a call recording, so let's go listen to that. Again, it's just selling this to different businesses, guys. You can now say, look, these are the conversations that have happened with your users, so you get that full data. So I've opened it up on Apple Music, a platform that we never use.
Hi, is this Jack? My name is Alex, and I'm
Here we
calling
go.
from Blue Light Automations. I see you just filled out an inquiry form on our website a moment ago.
So my budget is fine.
And just like that, guys, you got a functional AI voice agent that does the calls, saves the transcripts, and all this amazing stuff. If you haven't already, check out some of the voice guides down below. And YouTube really believes that you can enjoy one of the videos on screen here. So be sure to check that out. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next one.